Are you guys excited to swatch 120 Crayola crayons? I am. I'm Jenny from Jenny's Crayon Collection. I help you guys find the coolest art supplies for whatever project you're doing. So make sure you hit that subscribe button below. And we actually voted on this week to see if you guys wanted to do the Faber-Castell this week or if you wanted to do the 120 crayons. And you guys voted on the 120 crayons, but the Faber-Castell got a close second. Those swatches will probably come out later in December. And I'm going to let you guys know a little secret. If you have this box, you can still do the 120. You can also do the glitter and the metallic. And if you guys want me to swatch this one, let me know in the comments below. As I am going along, I will have a swatch chart that I've printed out and that is available for you too. All you have to do is sign up below and you will get that chart delivered to your inbox. All right, let's get started on this swatch chart. So I'm going to open these up. They're already in color order. And on here, this is actually kind of in color order too. Once you color it all in, you'll see there's a chart on my website that looks very much like this. And I can send that to you in the email also so you can see what it looks like. So I'm just going to pull out all the crayons. Got some extra beautiful ones just in case you're wanting some more. So we've got all our colors. We will just start on the first one. Just happens to be the first one I picked out, goes right here. What I'm gonna do, and you don't have to make it perfect either. You don't have to color in the square. I'm just gonna color lightly on this side and then darker on that. So you could color dark this way and light that way, whatever your preference. I'm gonna put them over here. Let's see, or I could just pull them out since they're already in color order. That way they don't get all messed up. So who wants to have to put them in color order again? And also when you're done, you can put them in color order according to the chart. Jungle green. Sea green. Caribbean green. We have robin's egg blue. Aquamarine. This one is turquoise blue. We have bluebell. Right. That one isn't super saturated. It looks a lot darker. The crayon looks a lot darker than the than the color actually is. Gives you a surprise. Cornflower. Again, one that's not as dark as the crayon itself. This one is Cerulean. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I should probably, ooh, that one's super vibrant. Look at that. It's hard because you're like pressing, like these ones I have to press hard. And I go to this one where it's super saturated and you like press and you're like, I'm pressing the same amount that I did the other crayon. But it's coming out so dark. Sky blue. outer space. Let's see. This is going to be super dark. Yep. It's almost like a gray. This one is midnight blue. Pacific blue. I know it's got to be up here somewhere. There we go. The last one is blue green. First box done. Denim. Navy blue. Let's see. This one, indigo. Blue. Cadet blue. That one is, look at that, not the same color. Wild blue yonder. How I've made this sheet right here, the more saturated colors are going to be on the outside and the less saturated will be in the middle. Periwinkle. That one almost looks purple. It's crazy. We are starting to get into the purple. Oh no, this is brown. There we go. This one is black. I put black up here. We have manatee. Not very saturated. Gray. It's interesting how much gray looks red. You can really see the hints of red in there. Very light crayon. It's in the appropriate spot. Not the same. I wonder why that is. Why is the crayon so much darker than what actually goes down? So you think it would be the same because you're just basically taking off a layer of the crayon, right, to color. But it's not the same. And then white, which you can't really see, but it is slightly colored. Not quite a true white. Then we start on our purples. Purple Mountain Majesty. Mountain's Majesty. Makes me want to sing, but I will spare you guys. I actually visited a place in Colorado where that song was written about. It was super neat. So let's go on with our purples. That's where we ended. Blue Violet. I wanted to tell you, I think, was it this one? I can't remember. I do so many of these things. They all kind of blend together. It was one of the first box of Crayola crayons. Yes, that's where it was. But there's like a violet blue and a blue violet in there. And actually, eggplant. So if it has blue in the front, you would think that blue in the front would mean it's more blue, but it's actually the opposite. But they took violet blue out, royal purple, so we don't have it anymore. I wonder if it was so people wouldn't be confused, because to me that was a little confusing. And maybe if I'd grown up with it that way, I wouldn't be as confused. I just realized I have never used these crayons before. They're very new. Vivid Violet. Why have crayons if you're not going to use them? And it's interesting, even though I did this in a circle, it's still kind of hard to make it perfect. I do like circular more than linear, definitely. You know, this is the first time I've done a swatch sheet that has been circular, I think. Having a hard time talking today. Very Violet. I think I already got this one. Yeah, Plum. Ah. This one is Orchid. It's gonna be kind of lighter. I love how this is coming out though. I'm gonna do all my swatch sheets circular. Next swatch sheet we're going to do is for the Faber-Castell colored pencils. And here's a little secret. I kind of like colored pencils a little bit better, but I saw that there might be some tricks to use with crayons. I like them because you can blend them a lot better together, and you can do the light, like how I'm doing the light to dark thing. It's a lot easier to do that, and you can see how there's like some difference. You can really tell where you're pressing when you're not pressing as hard. Lavender. I'm going to try different things. Or you can try different things to get your colored pencils and your crayons to blend better, to look more consistent without the white gaps. Okay. Carnation Pink. Cotton Candy. It's like, I know I've had these colors forever, I've had this chart forever, but still I'm like, oh, I don't remember Cotton Candy. Pink Sherbet. You can see it's a little bit more red. Don't you guys like how this is all turning out? You can sort your crayons beforehand. I think these are assorted, so I don't know if I did it for a video. Oh, Cotton Candy. Or if I did it because I was taking pictures and I was careful when I was putting them back. Hot Magenta. But I do have, that tip did not like me. Oh, now it's not going to be nice, huh? It's going to get all weird on me. Look at that. That is so weird how it did that. I'm kind of coloring at an angle so you guys can see me coloring. I was kind of wondering if that would happen, but I think it was just a crayon. That one is super, like, it's hard to get it saturated, especially with these ones that aren't. as saturated. You have to press a little bit harder to see it, and then they can break. All right, we'll do more reds. Magenta. I can't remember what I was saying before. I was saying something. Raspberry jam. Before I broke the crayon. That one's super saturated. It's on the outside. Violet red. This is one where you have violet red and red violet. See how red violet is up here and violet red is down here? That means red is the dominant color, which you would think opposite. If I mean, I'm not going to go back and name all these colors, but if I was naming colors, if it was up to me, I would definitely put violet red as being the, like, violet first red. Because wouldn't that make sense? It's like dominant color, especially with computers and stuff now. If it cuts off like this much, you want it to know what the dominant color is. And if red is first and it gets cut off and you're like, no, that's not red, you have to just know. Or if this goes to R, wild strawberry, that's one thing I would change. The naming system of crayons started out, and you'll notice, because I've done razzmatazz, I've done other supplies. Some of these will be similar. And actually some of, like, I think it was the Super Tips when I named the Super Tips. Brick red. They were like some colors that you just don't know, like carmine. The interesting thing is when I went to do the Prismacolor and the Faber-Castell Salmon, I found those in there. So back in the day, they used to name colors kind of after where they were found. There was a few times I noticed with the polychromos that they named them after people, or like what country they were found. Like there's some oriental colors. For the most part, it's like where they're found. The shift happened, I don't know if it was Crayola that did it, but the shift happened where they started naming colors. So you get like Mauvelous, which is definitely a play on mauve. So it's similar, but Tickle Me Pink. So Tickle Me, oh, and I just happened to get it. Tickle Me Pink. Tickle Me is not describing anywhere where it's coming from. It's just a fun name. So there's a shift instead of where it came from. Pink flamingo, or like pink flamingo. I mean, yeah, a flamingo is pink, so maybe it looks like a pink flamingo. But Tickle Me Pink, that's not very descriptive. That's just a fun name. I love the variety of colors, honestly. And I want to share this with you. So I was going to do a video this summer. It's going to be called Turning Your Crayola Crayon Colors into Paint. More purpley. I missed Purple Heart. I'll have to figure out where that is. It could be I just missed it in the box. I might have to find some afterwards. So this summer I was going to do turning... So red violet, how we talked about, see how much more violet that is than red. This one's more pinky, this one's definitely more violet. I was going to do a video on how to turn Crayola paint colors into paint. And it was, well, you haven't seen the video because I spent hours trying to figure this out. Everything is all by machine. So if you go to Home Depot, it's by machine. If you use Benjamin Moore, it's by this machine, and this machine is proprietary. So they can pick colors from the internet, some of them, but then it's specific, Mango Tango, to the actual So it's specific to the actual paint. So if you wanted to, so if I was going to do that, I would have to, and I'll have to make a video. So I tried it. I went to Benjamin Moore people and I was like, can I get some samples? And I probably spent like 20 minutes just sitting there, and he's like, oh, this is hard. Like, I might have to call corporate. So it was like this big, long process. And so I left my phone number with him, and Neon Carrot, he is like in charge of like 5 stores up here. Super busy. And I guess he was like, she just wants 2 samples. Those are like $5 each. I'm not going to waste my time. So I never heard back from him. But I think I'm going to try it again. So I'm going to show you, I'll tell you guys the process. It's not super easy to do. And it was interesting because later this summer I had someone contact me. They're like, I'm trying to paint something like these certain colored pencil colors. And I was like, yeah, it's hard. Peach. So we got all the hex and RBG codes, and there's actually a place online, if you don't mind paying a pretty penny, you can actually do the hex. There's a paint company online that will do that, but it's very expensive. I think it's just for spray paint. I'm not sure. Yellow, orange. That would be more orange than yellow. So it's very expensive to do that. And then during my research, I found out that Crayola had partnered with Dutch Boy back in the day, Melon. And they had their own paint colors. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I can just go find the colors I want. Because a lot of times what will happen, shocking pink. They'll just be in the system. So we went to look up the system colors. Yeah, it was Robin's Egg Blue or something like that. I was like, that one's pretty good. And so we tried, and they're like, didn't come up. I don't know. I think Dutch Boy is out of business. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if their colors were proprietary. Who knows? But anyway, we could not find it. Wild Watermelon. So that was frustrating. But I will get on that. So it might be next summer. Might be a few months. We'll see. I will tell you guys the process, Piggy Pink, for how to get Crayola colors. Let's say you want your room to be like this Cadet Blue or Timberwolf. Those are nice colors. Or you want it to be more like, no, don't paint your house salmon. We had a salmon house. We painted over it pink shirt. Like a violet red or something. I would say if you're going to do those colors, just do them on a wall. Our whole house, like our whole hallway, is painted salmon. I'll have to, maybe I'll put that over that. Show you guys. It was crazy. Sunset orange. We painted a gray, very neutral color, and actually adding color through like the furniture and stuff and bedspreads. You know, eventually we might paint it, but our house was just so many different colors. It was like a Crayola box. The thing is, with the Crayola box, and I kind of talked about this when I've talked about red orange, like coloring, is when you're coloring, you have to make sure that you have colors that look good together. Like all the crayon box is nice. If you're gonna go a rainbow, you have a little bit more leeway, but when you are like painting a house, now we're getting into house. I do have a website about that stuff, but I kind of let it go by the wayside after we moved here. I will get up on that one day. But when you're painting a house, Atomic Tangerine, you want to focus, like what we did is we have green, blue, and kind of a gray, and those are our main colors. And then like in my son's bedroom, he really likes red. So we still have that gray in his room. Like the walls are gray, but we painted his dresser red. So that way it matches the rest of the house, so you feel like you're in the house, but then you know that you're in his bedroom because it has that specific. So each room kind of has its own little variation on the colors. So it's kind of like that with coloring too, Banana Mania. You don't want to just use a bunch of random colors that don't look good together. Like if you're coloring, I like to pick colors that look good together, like a light and a dark, so you can do shading with the lighter one and the darker. You can do, you know, the detail, like outlining and stuff like that. And just make sure they look good together, and you're not going to pair colors that don't look good together. So that's what our house is like. Yeah, it was a Crayola box of colors, but it's like different shades of Crayola colors. So we just painted it gray. We're just going to paint it gray right now, add color, you know, to the furniture, to this and that. Maybe eventually we'll do some of the rooms a different color, but they're going to look good with the gray. So on my son's dresser, we painted it with this bright red. Then we put in these gray handles, so it brings out the gray. So even though it's different than other places in our house, it still has the theme of the house in it. That one was not very dark at all. Like, you can't see a lot. So a lot of the ones on the inner, you won't see a lot of difference from the left to the right side, just because they're not as yellow-green. Not green-yellow. Oh, look, I put these two together kind of close by. That really illustrates the point I was saying earlier, where the dominant color is the second color. Electric light. Yeah. So eventually, we painted it red. Maybe it was scarlet more of this that we painted his dresser. It looks so good. He has a lamp on his dresser. We took that lamp with us. We paint it. So you can do that. Like, I want this color, and find bring a swatch of the crayon with you and find a close paint sample. There's also EG RGB online that you can do that too. All right, green, yellow. This one is almond. Very light color. Almond was actually one of the base colors for Colors of the World. Goldenrod. Granny Smith apple. Shamrock. I like the saturated colors because you can still color light with them. You get a different color, but the less saturated, Mountain Meadow, you can't color super dark with them. They're only one color. You definitely get more versatility. If crayons cost more, like colored pencils did, just get the dark saturated ones because you can make a lot of colors. But crayons are not as expensive. Fern. Forest green. Isn't this looking so pretty? Love it. Olive green. asparagus. Here on to these ones, copper. Antique brass. Gold. They used to call this ochre. Shadow. So pretty. Tumbleweed. And I also have a chart with all the hex and RGB codes on my website. Desert Sand. And it's in the same order. I just actually pulled that chart to make this one. Desert Sand. When you do the RGB colors, it's interesting. Yeah, you could do the light and the dark. You'll get somewhere in between. The color will, depending on how hard you press it, especially with these saturated ones. Tan. Let me know what you like to color in the comments below with crayons. Burnt sienna. It's funny because I've done a few of these charts now. This one took me forever when I was first starting out for orange. It was my learning curve one, but I really like how it turned out. I just did one for polychromos, and I almost like the black spot up here. I might change it around again. But bittersweet. That one's up too on my website, but if I change it up, I can. I'll just change it up. Mahogany. So pretty. Sepia. Chestnut. I wonder if this has two browns in it and the Blutifuls are over there. That'd be interesting. Brown. Oh yeah. Or if it's missing Fuzzy Wuzzy Brown or Beaver. I'll find Beaver if it isn't. But that is interesting if it does not have Beaver, because sometimes it does say on the back it might not have all the colors. I think that's to cover themselves. Oh, Purple Heart. Here we go. And then Purple Pizzazz, and we're missing Beaver. Oh, here we go, Purple Pizzazz. Okay, the next one we're missing is Bluetitul. Bluetitul, right here. I do like Bluetitul. It is a pretty color. It's really, I think it's more denim to me than denim actually is. I like to keep them sorted. Like color order. That's what I used to do before. I had this website and I was the only one that cared. Desert Sand. Shadow. And all of a sudden I posted it and you guys like it too. So I'm really glad that you guys like it. I sort crayons. Box. Here we go. We have Beaver. While we're here, let's look at the difference. I like this now because it closes in. You have some extra space. I like these as opposed to just the boxes. This does have a crayon sharpener. I just don't know where it is. Oh, right here. It's a blue for Bluetitul. So here is our swatch chart. What do you guys think? What's your favorite color? My favorite right now, I'm really digging the blue, just the regular blue. That was actually one of the most popular colors from Crayola. I like Pacific Blue, Tropical Rainforest, Royal Purple, Razzmatazz, Mahogany. I pretty much like the ones on the outside, not the ones on the inside as much. They are just not dark enough for me. All right, I hope you guys have a great day and you enjoy this swatch chart. Don't forget that you can pick it up by clicking on the link below, and I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.